Newburgh, New York is a city of 30,000 people along the west side of the Hudson River in Orange County. 60 miles north of Manhattan, Newburgh is midway between New York and Albany, which has historically made it a great manufacturing and shipping location. The tagline on the city website is appropriately Crossroads of the Northeast. Across the bridge to the east is Beacon, a smaller city known for the Dia Beacon, one of the largest contemporary art galleries in the country. Newburgh, though, is one of the oldest towns in New York State, with a massive presence of Victorian and Second Empire-style homes. During the American Revolution, from 1782 until late 1783, Newburgh served as the headquarters of the Continental Army. Famously, though I didn't know this, while the army was camped at Newburgh, some of its senior officers began the Newburgh Conspiracy to overthrow the government. General George Washington, though, was able to persuade his officers to stay loyal to him. Timely, huh? History also brought the second Edison electrical plant here and made Newburgh the second city in the U.S. to have electricity. And what of course caught my eye is the restored 1883 Ritz Theater, known as the place where Lucille Ball made her stage debut in 1941. Some people know Newburgh more for Stewart Airport, the area's fourth largest airport, where you can fly direct to Florida, Philly, Raleigh-Durham, and, interestingly, Iceland. Other than the airport, I've actually never been to Newburgh, unless you count on Zillow doing real estate porn, looking at the beautiful homes for sale. Newburgh, to me, always had a sketchy rep, from crime or maybe not being talked about the way Kingston, Hudson, and other cities up the Hudson River were bouncing back with hype stories of urban renewal. More recently, though, it started to get attention as a place in a Times piece 2 years ago. Someone who recently moved there described Newburgh as not arrived yet, but becoming. And then this winter, I got some fan mail from a Cidiot listener inviting me to opening day at the Newburgh Market at the Newburgh Mall that only recently started the previous year. It was from one of the, well, how do I explain this? One of the mayors.
In the valley, moved up from the city. It's a new way of living and I'm trying to get used to it. 1 park coolers, half an ounce of an idiot. Ordered a Manhattan and they call me a Cidiot. At first I hurt my feelings, but it's kinda got a ring to it. When you move to the country, they can tell when you're new to it. I'm looking at a place, but I'm trying to keep fitting in. It takes too long to be a local, so for now I'm a Cidiot.
I'm Matt Zucker, and this is Cidiot, learning to live and love life in the Hudson Valley. As you may know, I'm really into exploring various towns in the region, and each one is its own world. If I'm lucky, I can find someone who's from there or runs a business in the town and can really speak to it personally. For example, you probably remember Daniel Clark of Prime Print Shop in Poughkeepsie. Also, Pim Zegers with the Cidiot store in Catskill. Steve and Tom from Bangleworks in Stanfordville. Episode 70, we went as far north as Saratoga and talked to the president and CEO of SPAC, who fell head over heels for Saratoga Springs. This past winter, I got an email from Diane Paracella telling me that she had found Cidiot, got a kick out of the song we just released, had lived herself in the city for 15 years before moving back to the Hudson Valley, and wanted to tell me about the Sunday market that she and her partner run at the Newburgh Mall. Diane and her partner Lisa run Designed Grind Cafe, a coffee kiosk in the Newburgh Mall. Nicknamed the mayors of the mall for their extensive knowledge of the building and surrounding businesses, they started the Newburgh Market last year since the mall was closing stores rapidly, and they wanted to create a welcoming space in the parking lot to have fun and promote local small businesses like themselves. Like a lot of towns, there's a farmer's market in the downtown on Saturday, but they wanted to do something different on Sundays and at the mall itself. As you might know, I worked in high school at the mall near my home in suburban New Jersey, so I wanted to know more all about this. So I called Diane at work.
Hello.
Hi, Diane. It's Matt.
Hi.
Hi. This is an okay time? I know you're working.
Yeah, I'm working, but that's okay. It's actually kind of slow at the shop. So if I have a customer, you'll hear it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But
Maybe you could tell me a little bit about the market, and you could give me a lay of the land of how to get started. And then I could ask you about being the mayor of the mall thing, which is funny. And how did that come about? So maybe we should talk about Newburgh for people that don't know Newburgh.
I mean, that's why we did the market, is because the Newburgh Mall, at the time, the Newburgh Mall was dying. So, we opened our coffee shop a year and a half ago in the mall.
What's that called?
Designed Grind Cafe.
Yeah.
So we open this booth, and that's where mayors of the mall come in, because the booth is in the front of the main entrance. So we look like we're like a customer service booth, so like information booth. So a lot of people think that's what we are, especially before we could afford signs and everything. It was just like a white booth. So people would always ask us, where's this store? Where's this store? Where's a good place to eat in town? Or they'd always ask us a million questions. We've been here about a year and a half now. And Sundays are a real short day. The mall's only open 12 to 6. So it was just kind of like, every few months another store was closing. Another store was closing. We were getting super nervous. We were just like, we got to do something to liven this place up. So we were like, let's just put a market in the parking lot on Sundays and like blast music and dance and like have different themes. We have different themes for the market. So like we did a mutt strut, and then we had a big adoption event where you can come and adopt a dog. That went really well. That just passed. And then we do a cosplay in the Berg, and we have like a cosplay day. I know, it's a little silly. Sometimes they're silly. And then I think our next one coming up is a wellness thing. And we're going to do yoga in the middle of the parking lot and have all these holistic people sell stuff. And we have a community day where we let all nonprofits come for free and raise money for themselves. We end with a trunk or treat on October 23rd.
What's trunk or treat?
It's where everybody decorates their cars for Halloween. Like you put all this scary stuff all over your car, and then you fill your trunks with candy. And then the kids come around. Yeah, it's really fun. We all get dressed up, and it's fun. So it was kind of like a cross between boredom and helping the community of Newburgh and small businesses, especially like these small vendors during COVID. Like a lot of them got killed.
What kind of vendors are there?
So we have Empanada Onada, which is like a little empanada truck. We have Yanni's Food Sensation. He does like jerk chicken. He doesn't have a truck, but he like literally rolls his grill right out and makes jerk chicken and collard greens and mac and cheese. And then we have a woman named Adina. She owns Culture Design. She does like personalized t-shirts and tumblers. We have Body Mind One Baker. She's a Newburgh baker. She specializes in all things sourdough and does sourdough scones and bread. Oh, we have so many to name.
How many are there?
Usually between 10 to 20, depending on the day. We don't make the vendors commit to every single Sunday because a lot of these people have other jobs and stuff. So we do as a, kind of pay as you go, so they can come whenever they feel like it, any Sunday they want.
I think the themes are kind of original. I haven't seen that at the farmers markets I go to.
We were trying to be a little different so the mall itself runs a farmers market on Saturdays. So they already have like their own little farmers market. So we just kind of like wanted to do something like a little different. It's a little quirky, but we just have like a big party. Usually we're like blasting old 90s music because, we're in our 40s. So it's a little Belle Biv DeVoe playing and, Boys to Men.
Excited to share that Hudson Valley Kitchen Design Center, an area expert for kitchens, bathrooms, pantries, offices, closets, and yes, even home movie theaters, is now a sponsor of Cidiot. Now, when you've got a room to rethink, refresh, or reimagine, you know who to call. For Cidiot listeners, just mention the podcast to save $500 off a project of $5,000 or more. See recent projects and fun on Instagram, HV Kitchen Design Center, visit their site at hvkitchendesign.com, or call 845-615-9410 about a consultation. Links also from Cidiot.com. Thanks, Hudson Valley Kitchen Design Center. I can already feel Brian dialing your number. Now back to the show. And how did you find Cidiot?
Cidiot, I found, okay. So the two of us, this is our first business ever, the coffee shop. Everything's been guerrilla marketing. Everything's marketing 101. I have no idea what I'm doing. I had to learn how to use Instagram and all that stuff. So everything's been Googling. And then somebody was like, you need to get on some podcasts. And so I just started Googling like podcasts in the Hudson Valley, and Cidiot was number one in every search. Oh, cool. And I was like, and then my husband's like, you can't go on Cidiot because that's what they call me, because he's from Brooklyn and he moved up here. And he's like, that's what they call me at work.
I know, it's such like a negative word for people, but I'm trying to take it back. I'm trying to make it into a positive.
Yeah, but it's cute. I mean, people use it, but like it makes, I think it's cute. But yeah, so I found you, and then I heard your song and I almost peed myself. So funny. And I was like, oh my God, these guys sound so cool.
So tell me about Design Grind. Tell me about the coffee business.
So Design Grind is, basically we built, me and my business partner, so it was like two women in their 40s. We built the booth from scratch. So there was nothing here at all. We literally watched YouTube videos and like went to Lowe's, built this 15 by 15 little booth kiosk thing. So Design Grind is designed around the community. So everything's local. So we have all local bakers we buy from. The woman who makes the cupcakes, she's like an award-winning cupcake maker. She won Cupcake Wars on the Food Network, and she's local to Newburgh, and she bakes for us. And then we just buy from vendors.
What about the coffee itself? Where do you get the coffee from?
The coffee is actually our own. So that's the only thing that is our own. Yeah. We get the beans from Brazil and we roast them ourselves.
Oh, okay. How'd you learn how to do that?
YouTube. YouTube for everything. Google talking to local roasters, asking around. You'd be surprised. So many people in the Hudson Valley were so helpful when we opened this place. Like just walking into local places like Los Hornitos Bakery in Wappingers. She sat down with us for like 3 hours before we opened. She was like, oh, and like gave us advice, and running a small business is tough. So we took all the advice we could, and we still do. We're definitely always learning. We haven't figured it all out.
How do you like owning your own business and being an entrepreneur?
I mean, I love it. It's a lot of work. We work every day. So I work for 4 days. She works for 4 days. I work for 4 days. She works for 4 days. So we have no employees yet. It's just the two of us. So we do everything. It's not for the weak of heart. Sometimes I miss getting a paycheck. Yeah. Newburgh's been very good to us. Our customers are awesome. The mall is going through this crazy transition right now. So we rely very heavily on the mall employees for our business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the stores are closed in this mall right now because they're putting a casino in the mall.
They're putting in a casino there?
Resorts World Casino. They're almost done with construction. It's almost done.
Wow.
Yeah. But thank God, because if something didn't open in here, we probably would have had to look for another spot to go. Because, I mean, you're talking, there's only maybe 8 stores left in this mall that's open. So, you hear crickets a lot. So if something big didn't come soon, it would have probably went under. Luckily, we also have new mall owners too, which really helped. Last month, somebody bought the mall, and it was a much smaller company than before. The guys who owned it before, they owned like 350 malls. So they didn't care about this place. So it would, it was just kind of like, it was just property to them. So the new guys from Westchester that came up and just bought it, they've been like here all the time, and they want to like, make it a nice, cool place again. So, you got to kind of do that with malls now. You need entertainment, you need something.
Right.
you know, because people don't shop the way they used to. Retail's changed, so.
And what's Newburgh like? I really don't know it well. I've been reading up about its history and about the architecture.
Newburgh
And
is really, really cool. It's so we're in the town of Newburgh, which is a little more suburban, and then the downtown, you know, kind of has like a bad reputation for being high crime, but it's really coming around. They're fixing up Liberty Street right now, and it's starting to look like downtown Paris. Like they've got cobblestone streets and like street lamps hanging over and these really cool cafes. They're trying to kind of do what they're doing, you know, in Beacon.
Yeah.
So it's coming around. It definitely has had some really cool places. I'm still getting to know the towns. Like I said, I'm from the other side of the river, which, you know, most people on the other side of the river, they don't go over just because it's like being in the city and going above 14th Street when you live downtown, you know, it's like, you know, or going to the east side from the west side. It's like, I got to take the S train, you know, the shuttle. And it's just like a little far, but it's a cool town. It's really coming around. A lot of people moved up here from the city. I'm noticing a lot of like when we first opened, it was like everybody was local. And now I'm like, you don't live here. You can tell.
How can you tell?
Clothing wise, I was in fashion for 25 years in the city.
Yeah.
So I can kind of tell the difference. And I'm originally from Wappingers, so I can just tell who's from the Hudson Valley and who's not most of the time, judging by what they're wearing.
I ask everybody what their favorite place is in the Hudson Valley, like their secret go-to place. Do you have some place you really love to go?
Ooh, wise is Brothers Barbecue. No doubt about it. They're in Newburgh. Amazing. Like the best barbecue in the Hudson Valley. The best fried chicken. I'm like a Chase fried chicken. That's my thing. And then probably favorite thing to do is like the walkway over the Hudson.
I have never done that.
You have to do that. It's awesome. I live close to it. It's just really nice. And they're actually what they're starting to do this summer, which I really want to go check out. They're going to start doing movies, like late night movies underneath called Starry Nights.
Oh.
And they're going to play Wizard of Oz. So I have to go for that one. Because like Dorothy and Poughkeepsie on a projector at night. Come on. Like I have to.
The Newburgh Market at the Newburgh Mall is every Sunday except holiday weekends, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's really easy to get to, right off the Thruway or I-84. Be sure to stop by Design Grind Cafe, say hello to Diane and Lisa, and tell them you heard about them on Cidiot and get 10% off a delicious coffee. Congrats to winner Suzanne Wynick of Hurley, New York, for winning the Cidiot ticket giveaway to see the Philadelphia Orchestra with Joshua Bell and Larissa Martinez at SPAC. Hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks to everyone who entered the contest. Happy to do more of these giveaways if people are interested. You can still send in a birthday message to Cidiot for the show's 4th birthday. At Cidiot.com, you'll see a microphone in the bottom corner, hit record, and then you'll be able to send a message. Tell me your favorite episode and why, or just say hi. You can also simply send a voice memo to goats@Cidiot.com. That might work too. Thanks so much for listening. I love summer. So much to do, see, and experience upstate. Come visit.
Down in the valley, moved up from the city. It's a new way of living and I'm trying to get used to it. 1 park noodles, half an ounce of an idiot. Ordered a Manhattan and they call me a Cidiot. At first I hurt my feelings, but it's kinda got her into it. When you move to the country, they can tell when you're new to it. I'm looking at a place, but I'm trying to keep fitting in. It takes too long to be a local, so for now I'm a Cidiot. I'm a Cidiot. I'm a Cidiot. I'm a Cidiot. I'm a Cidiot.